Hello and welcome to the 10 Steps to Handwriting Success. This one is all about sitting well. It's number 5 of 10, so we're halfway through. Previously, we've looked at handwriting quality and how it can be affected by how we hold a pencil, how we control a pencil, how we angle or turn the paper, and also by writing on the line. But it also can be affected by how someone sits. If you imagine a builder's crane and it has a claw of an arm to pick up and release items, if that crane was on an uneven surface, then it wouldn't be able to pick up and release items with control. The same is true with our bodies. If we're not sitting well, then we're not going to be able to do very good handwriting. So let me ask you this. Where does your child write at home? Have you ever thought about how they're sitting? Is the chair the right height? Is the desk the right height for them? Do they ever do this, where they're leaning on the table? And if they do, perhaps in school they're doing this as well. They may be leaning on the table or having their chair pushed so far back behind them that actually it's really quite difficult to write. And this boy's feet aren't flat on the floor either. The reason why it's important to sit is that when we are sitting well, we're helping our body to write the best it can because it's physically comfortable. If we're sitting uncomfortably, it can lead to back pain, neck pain, muscle fatigue, tension in the fingers, and also a fidgety body. And by that I mean one that's constantly moving about because it's uncomfortable. Sitting will also affect handwriting. Let me show you the two differences. Both have been done by the same person. The first one, it was a Valentine's Day activity, hence the heart. You can tell that the letters are pressed quite heavily. But the second one, by just asking this child to change how they were sitting, has actually transformed their handwriting. You'd almost think that it wasn't by the same person. So let me show you how to sit well. What we really want are the feet to be flat on the floor, their knees to be bent at a 90-degree angle, and their hips and bottom to be as far back in the chair as possible. As occupational therapists, we often talk about having a 90-90-90 position, meaning the hips are at 90 degrees, the knees are at 90 degrees, and the feet are at 90 degrees. It's also important that the elbow sits below the table height. Sometimes if you're sitting working at a kitchen table, it actually may be too high, which raises the shoulders, meaning that it's causing tension in the body. Let me show you some chairs that are the wrong height. Here you can see this boy's feet are dangling, and also on the red scooter their knees are higher than the hips, meaning that the seat is too low. Obviously he wouldn't be doing handwriting in that position, but it's a good picture to show the difference. And then the last picture of the girl, she actually has a wobble cushion placed on the chair. But if the wobble cushion wasn't there, I'm sure that her hips would have been a good position for her. But at the moment, her hips are higher than the knees, meaning that the chair is not a good height. So let me ask you this question. Where does your child write at home? And do you think you need to change anything about where they're sitting? Perhaps the table, perhaps the chair height? How could you make it more comfortable for them? So until next time, goodbye.